Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to the Speak English Flow, your favorite place to improve your English while talking about real-life topics that actually matter. That's right, I'm Emma.
And I'm Mohin, ready to have an honest conversation about self-discipline, bad habits, and why I'll start tomorrow seems to be everyone's favorite plan.
Today, we're talking about something I know a lot of you will relate to, self-discipline and how to actually build it instead of just talking about it. Picture this. You set a big goal, maybe to work out every single day, and by week 2, you're already negotiating with yourself about whether Netflix counts as cardio.
Oh, that's me every January. This year is different, I say. By the 15th, I'm back on the couch with 3 more episodes for research.
And the worst part is the guilt afterward. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow somehow never actually arrives.
The classic I'll start tomorrow syndrome. I think I've said that sentence for actual years.
That's exactly what we're breaking down today. Here's the good news. Discipline isn't some rare talent a few lucky people are born with.
Wait, really? Because some people seem like they were just born organized.
Nope, it's a skill, and skills can be built one small step at a time. That's what we're doing together today. And if conversations like this help you stay consistent with English, with your goals, with anything you're working on,
Go ahead and subscribe to the Speak English Flow. It really helps us keep these episodes coming every day.
every single subscriber means a lot to us. All right, let's get into it. So, why is discipline so hard to keep up? Here's the simple answer. Every habit, good or bad, runs on the same loop: a cue, a routine, and a reward.
A cue, a routine, and a reward. What does that actually mean?
Think about it like this. Your phone buzzes. That's the cue. You check it. That's the routine. You feel a little hit of interest. That's the reward.
Oh, so my brain isn't being lazy on purpose. It's just following a loop it already learned.
Exactly. And the good news is you can build new loops the same way the old ones got built, through repetition, not by forcing yourself with pure willpower.
So discipline isn't about gritting your teeth and suffering through it forever.
Not at all. Real discipline is mostly just having the right loop running on autopilot.
Okay, so what do we actually do to build that loop?
The first thing, and it sounds almost too simple, is to start with habits so tiny you can't really say no to them.
Tiny. How? Like, what counts as tiny?
I mean really small, not study English for an hour, more like open the app and read one sentence.
Wait, one sentence? That feels like it wouldn't do anything.
That's the trick, though. It's not about that one sentence. It's about making the habit so easy that you actually do it every single day, instead of skipping it because it feels too big.
Oh, it's like training a muscle that's never lifted weights before. You don't start with the heaviest weight, you start with something you can actually lift.
Exactly like that. Once the habit of showing up every day is solid, the size naturally grows on its own.
So how do I actually use this for, say, exercise?
Pick something absurdly small, 5 minutes of stretching, or even just putting on your workout clothes. The goal isn't a great workout. The goal is showing up without skipping.
So even on my laziest day, 5 minutes feels doable. I won't have an excuse to skip it.
Right, and that's the whole point. A tiny habit done every day for a month beats a huge habit done for 3 days and then abandoned.
That actually takes the pressure off. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to show up small.
Exactly. And the best part? Once showing up becomes automatic, you'll naturally want to do a little more because momentum builds on its own.
Exciting. 5 minutes every day. I can actually commit to that.
That's it. Small and consistent always wins over big and occasional.
Okay, but what about actual goals? Isn't it good to have a big target to aim for?
Goals are useful for direction, but they don't actually get you there. What gets you there is the system behind it.
What's the difference between a goal and a system?
A goal is I want to lose 10 kilos. A system is I cook dinner at home 4 nights a week and walk for 20 minutes after lunch. The goal is the destination. The system is the road that actually gets you moving.
Oh, so without the system, the goal is just a wish sitting on a shelf.
Exactly. People focus so much on the outcome that they forget to build the daily actions that create it.
So for English learners listening right now, what would their system look like?
Something like listen to 10 minutes of English every morning with coffee, or review 5 flashcards before bed. Small, repeatable, doesn't depend on motivation.
Because motivation comes and goes, but a system runs whether you feel like it or not.
Exactly. Once the system is in place, you stop relying on willpower completely. You just follow the routine you already built.
That sounds so much less stressful than constantly checking, am I closer to my goal yet?
It really is. You stop measuring success by the destination and start measuring it by whether you showed up to the system today.
Build the road, not just stare at the destination. I like that.
And the best part, once the system runs on its own, the goal basically takes care of itself. Here's something most people completely overlook. Your environment is either working for you or working against you every single day.
What do you mean by environment exactly?
I mean your physical surroundings. If your snacks are sitting right on your desk or your phone is buzzing next to your homework, your discipline is fighting an uphill battle before you even start.
Oh, that's painfully accurate. My phone is basically sitting on top of my to-do list right now.
Exactly, and that's not a willpower problem, that's a setup problem. Think about it like this. It's easier to swim downstream than upstream.
So instead of fighting against my surroundings every day, I should just change the surroundings instead.
Exactly. For exercise, keep your shoes right by the door. For English practice, keep your app on your home screen instead of buried in a folder.
And what about removing the bad stuff, not just adding the good stuff?
That matters just as much. Put your phone in another room while you study or unfollow accounts that pull your attention away from your goals.
Oh, out of sight really is out of mind. And I guess in sight is in mind too.
Exactly. Make the good habit the easiest option in the room and make the bad habit the hardest option in the room.
So discipline isn't really about being a stronger person. It's about being a smarter designer of my own space.
Exactly that. Design the room and the room does half the work for you.
Okay, but what about the days when none of this feels like enough, when I just don't want to do it?
That's exactly where the last piece comes in. You don't have to rely only on yourself. Accountability changes everything.
You mean like telling someone about my goal?
More than telling them, involving them. A workout buddy, a study partner, even just a friend who checks in on your progress every Friday.
So basically someone to gently guilt me into showing up.
Kind of, yes, but in a supportive way, not a judgmental one. Think about it like this. It's much easier to skip a workout alone than to skip one when a friend is already waiting at the gym door.
Oh, so the accountability isn't really about punishment, it's about not wanting to let someone else down.
Exactly. And for English learners, that could mean finding a language partner, joining a study group, or just sharing your daily practice with one friend.
So even just one person checking in can make the difference between quitting and continuing.
One person is honestly enough. You don't need a huge support system. You just need one person who knows what you're working on.
That feels so much more doable than trying to white-knuckle it completely alone.
Exactly. Discipline gets so much easier the moment you stop trying to carry it by yourself.
Those 4 tips are so practical and easy to remember, and honestly, that's what makes them powerful. You don't need advanced vocabulary or perfect grammar, just a little practice and the willingness to keep talking. That's something every English learner can do.
Right? And before we close, let's go over the key words from today's episode. The first word is self-discipline, meaning the ability to control your own actions and stick to a plan, even when you don't feel motivated.
Like choosing the study for 10 minutes even when Netflix is calling your name.
Exactly like that. Next, momentum, the energy or force that builds up as you keep moving forward.
So the more small habits I complete, the more momentum I build up over time?
Exactly. Next word, burnout. Feeling completely exhausted and unmotivated because you pushed yourself too hard too fast.
That's what happens to me every January 15th.
We've all been there. Next, consistency. Doing something regularly, the same way over time.
Consistency over intensity, basically.
Exactly. Next, routine. A fixed sequence of actions you follow regularly, often without even thinking about it.
So a good routine is basically discipline running on autopilot.
That's it, exactly. Next, accountability, being responsible to someone else for following through on what you said you'd do.
like having a friend who checks in on my progress.
Next, temptation, a strong urge to do something even when you know it isn't the best choice.
My phone is basically pure temptation disguised as a small rectangle.
One more, willpower, your mental energy or strength to resist temptation and keep going.
And from today's episode, willpower runs out, so it's smarter to build systems instead of relying only on it.
Exactly. You really were listening. And the last word, automatic, happening on its own without you needing to think about it or force it.
So the real goal is making good habits feel automatic instead of effortful.
And those are your key words from today. Try using one of them in a sentence this week and they will stick with you forever.
Try just one. That's enough to start. Those words are so useful, especially when you're trying to actually stick to your goals in real life. They're the kinds of words you'll hear in conversations, podcasts, videos, and even use when talking about your own habits.
Exactly. And the more you notice these ideas in your daily life, the easier it becomes to remember both the vocabulary and the English naturally.
All right, that officially wraps up today's episode. We covered some practical ideas, useful vocabulary, and a real-life topic that affects all of us.
We hope today's conversation gave you something useful to think about and a little more English along the way.
And if this episode helped you think about discipline a little differently today or helped you learn even one new English expression, we'd love for you to support the channel.
Please subscribe to Speak English Flow and share this episode with one friend who is also working on improving their English.
That one share truly means the world to us. It helps more learners discover the channel and keeps these conversations going.
Just one friend. That's enough.
See you next time on the Speak English Flow.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking English a little more every day. Your progress doesn't end here. Click on the next video to keep your English growing. Bye for now.